Hi, and welcome to Random Rogers Big Picture, special end of the third quarter edition. I'm going to talk about performance. Based on the response last time around, I don't think readers really give a crap about performance. I do believe in trying to be accountable. I'm going to stick with doing a once a quarter thing on performance at least to the end of the year, so that means one more. Beyond that, we'll see. It's getting more and more difficult to keep tabs with what I started on with Yahoo Finance, and to switch over seems like it would be a hassle and as a potential for inconsistencies. We'll cross that bridge later. But for now, here's what we've got. So let's just jump right into it. The S&P 500 for the quarter was up 1.55% in terms of price appreciation. So all of that noise and panic up 1.55% for the quarter. Plus the dividend. It seems to me the annual dividend for the S&P 500 is 1.7%. Assuming that's right, that works out to 42.5 basis points quarterly, which works out to 1.975%. So for the quarter total, I have it up 1.975. This generic portfolio that I'll disclaim the hell out of, it'll never be like this again, client accounts vary, on and on and on, I'll never make a correct decision again. And so forth. That closed out last quarter, or the second quarter, at 1,410,000 and change. It closed the third quarter at 1,467,000 and change. So up about 57,000 for the quarter. That works out to, and that includes dividends, subject to any I might have missed. Quarter to date, so for the quarter, that was 4.06%, pretty good, compared to 1.97 for the S&P. Okay, the year-to-date, I've got the S&P 500. It closed out last year at 1418 spot 30, closed again yesterday at 1526 spot 75, which year-to-date makes a price appreciation of 7.64%, plus 3 dividends, which I calculated at 1.275%, which gives the total, as I count it for the year, up 8.915%. So up 8.9%. Year to date, when 2006 ended, this generic portfolio that I have closed out last year at 1,300,000 and change. And again, it closed the third quarter at 1,467,000 and change, just a hair under actually 1,468. And so year to date, 12.85%. Okay, so that's pretty good. I'm going to say, the little bit of heckling notwithstanding, possibly the best quarter on a risk-adjusted basis I've ever had. What I was trying to do, we've kind of at the office got some very sophisticated tools to kind of show the performance, and I'm going to show them to you on the video, but quite candidly, most of you aren't going to understand it. I don't know any other way to express what happened, but most of you just aren't going to get it, and I'm sorry for that. But this was the portfolio, and this is kind of what the market did. Okay, so obviously it's not sophisticated. I'm making a joke. Don't worry about the angle so much as the portfolio had a less severe tilt down than the market, and then when things came back up, it kind of did like that, quite frankly. And the reason for that, I believe, and I said this on the blog posts, was just the snapback in some of the things that I've been writing about the whole time throughout the, as it started to go down and then as it came up. I mean, all the stuff I've been talking about, all the portfolio things I had done ahead of time, what I did in the middle, yada, yada, yada. And, the bottom line to what I was trying to do for all of that, all of those posts, very simple, to avoid all of the down, or smooth out the ride. That's a better way to say it. I was trying to smooth out the ride. Important concept. Now, let's be clear. I had a great quarter, the way I view it. What does that mean? It means that there's a bad quarter floating out there waiting for me. The second quarter of this year, I lagged the market by a little bit. Nothing awful, but I lagged by a little bit. This quarter, I was ahead a little bit. It was a good risk-adjusted result, but this is over the longer term. There are quarters where you lag. There are quarters where you lead. And to further stress how insignificant one quarter is, and so here I probably said the same thing last quarter when I lagged a little bit. Now I'm saying it again this quarter when I lead a little bit. How unimportant a quarter is. I did similar things last summer. I lightened up a little bit and I added a little double short that caused, so kind of the same tactic as this summer, that caused my lead against the benchmark, and I wrote this I think on Friday, my lead to evaporate, and I did the same thing this summer and it caused my lead to increase. Big deal. It's just sticking to my knitting, sticking to what I believe in, and that's important, for you to do. You're managing your own portfolio, whatever it is that makes sense to you. Obviously, what you're going to do is going to evolve over time. That's why you spend time on my site. Why hopefully you're reading plenty of other things if you're trying to tackle managing your own portfolio. And to be crystal clear, great quarter. There are going to be lags in the future. That's just how it works. Anyone who manages their money who's not god-awful is going to have times where they beat, and they're going to have times where they lag. There'll be years where you beat. There'll be years where you lag. It doesn't matter. Over the longer term, what matters is that you stay close. If you can, and this is important to me, it may not be important to you, if you can smooth out your ride, that's important. Hopefully the consistency of the message kind of carried through the whole time. I kept writing about, stick to a plan of getting defensive. Don't panic. Don't make big bets. That's what I've been saying the whole time. I got a tad of heckling because I'm not crystal clear on how I'm going to unwind the double short fund. It's such a small position. I don't know that I need to unwind it. I didn't last year, and it wasn't really a problem. The market keeps going up. The size of that double short is going to continue to shrink. And the next time the market breaches is if I do nothing, and the next time we go up 20%, and the next time the market breaches it, I'm going to add a little bit more. That's that. I'm going to try and smooth out the ride the next time it happens. Just trying to be consistent and not really focus on what the individual holdings are doing. To me, that is completely ass backwards. To hear, one stock's down 20% or down 10%. What is your portfolio doing? Is that result something you can live with? And then as far as fine-tuning, why is something down? That's when you decide to sell. And I think that's pretty consistent with what I talk about all the time. Alrighty, we're having a little party at the old Nussbaum place. So a party in Walker typically means there'll be gunfire, someone will leave with a black eye, and there will be police involved. But it'll be fun nonetheless. Have a good weekend.